Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. I recently learned a brand new word. Now, if you're watching this video, chances are you already know the word, but it was new to me, and that word is Bazball. And from what I understand, Bazball is an aggressive style of test cricket that the England team has been using for a few years. And I only know the very basics of this, the very basics, but it's an aggressive style not seen before in Test cricket, and it's aggressive with the batting, and also I think it's also aggressive with maybe positioning of fielders. It's also an aggressive positioning strategy to get more wickets. That's what I think I know. And what I also read is that it was doing really well for a while there, but it's not doing so well now, and there are a lot of criticisms about Bazball, from what I understand, because they say it's one of those things that works well until it doesn't, and maybe it's not anymore against Australia. But feel free to fill me in if I'm wrong about the details of this, or let me know more details about this. But I know it's a different style, and it hasn't quite been happening for England in this year's Ashes. We're going to take a look at the fourth day of the second match. And I believe England was still batting at the end of the third day, so they start off batting the fourth day. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if we can identify some Bazball traits in this video. This video is from a YouTube channel called K Sports Official. So let's check it out. The Ashes, day 4, second match.
Around the cricketing world, we've been enjoying the pictures, the sights and sounds of the game of summer here in Australia, and it is a blowtorch that is on England at the moment, and Captain Ben Stokes is the
6/134. So I assume when they left off on day 3 or evening 3, they had 134 runs. They lost 6 wickets, or Australia took 6 wickets, and they trail by 43, but that's trailing Australia's first time at bat, because they haven't batted for the second time yet.
one that may well lead them out. Can he perform another? Nice little start for Stokes, just to get the motor running.
Yeah, just on the back of what you said there, Davey, that there's been a real conscious approach from this team.
Quite well played there from Will Jackson. A bit more steepling bounce there. It's still a hard. Was a touch on it. And there it is. It'll be 4. No, it's just 4 byes. So Carey unable to get across, and that's a peach.
I noticed the pink ball there. This is the first time I've seen the pink ball in a game, and I recognize Mitchell Starc there.
Brilliant again from Carey. The beauty, the angle, then the nipple.
To Junior. I was just making the point earlier that, as you say, he has first gear and fifth gear, and that's been his problem, because he's.
This is interesting for me, because I don't really know what a more cautious style looks like versus a more aggressive style. I'm looking at Ben Stokes here. He hasn't been like taking big swings at every ball coming to him. I don't know if they're trying to play more cautiously now. I don't know if when you're committed to Bazball, I don't know if you can just change in the middle of a Ashes series and say, okay, let's not do that, let's do this, because they've probably been playing it for a few years now. They probably maybe built a team around guys who play that style well, I would think. So it's not like you can just probably say, let's abandon that style and go back to normal traditional Test cricket style. I don't really know, but he hasn't looked especially what I would consider aggressive at this point. I don't know how it works.
Swing bowler, and I've seen him in Sheffield Shield.
Close. Oof. A good leave by the England skipper. Oh, hot. That's beautiful. Glorious from Ben Stokes.
Yeah, just too wide, too.
And I noticed when he went out to bat this afternoon.
See, I've seen a lot of different swings, and I think of that one as sort of a cautious one when they just step out and have the bat vertical. I'm not sure if that's correct or not, but I think of that as sort of a conservative thing, because in contrast to the big swing that looks more like what I'm used to as a baseball swing, where the bat is more horizontal. I think of that as more aggressive, and I think of this as more cautious, but I'm not sure if that's correct or not. But he seems to be doing the one with the bat kind of pointed down at the ground.
He wasn't speaking to.
But batsmen in their bubble are
Like a robot.
a thing to deal with. That's 6 for 155 after 43. Alan Border was great in his bubble, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
He wouldn't have known who the non-striker was.
We'll have to think.
Just a random thought.
Oh man, that's gotta hurt.
That one does hit the crack.
That's a good take, Carey. End of the over, the testing one.
Again, extra bounce, nicely played.
You know, it kind of, to me, someone who's new to this, it looks like Stokes is playing very, like, you know, what's the opposite of aggressive? Cautious? It seems to me that it looks like that so far.
And again, more bounce. This is really good from Nisa. Well played from Will Jacks.
Or maybe it's the other guy, Jacks. They both seem to be playing kind of cautiously.
Nearly. Another single for England.
Which makes me wonder, you know, at this point, they're not, it doesn't look like they're going to have a big lead after their second time at bat, because they still trail by 13, and Australia has another turn at bat. So in this case, it seems like wouldn't they almost have to play aggressively to try to, you know, because just being cautious as the balls go by, you're not going to get much of a lead. And so maybe now's the time for Bazball. Maybe save it for these situations. Although I might be way off in my analysis there.
That's well bowled. He did well to keep that down. It could have popped up off the inside edge on it. 4 more to Stokes. Down to 6, the deficit.
Just the last couple of overs, you'd see Stokes.
Edged. Oh, just over the top.
That guy got high, that fielder on the left.
If he can't reach it, no one can.
And they're going to need a bit of luck, England, if they're going to get through this little It's a good delivery from Cam Green. Surprise delivery. I don't think England bowled enough of those as well.
And negotiated very, very nicely for England. Ben Stokes, Will Jacks have done a great job. And there's a partnership of 65 from the England captain.
As Ted Lasso says, believe. I'm sure that sign may well be up in that change room down there underneath the grandstands here at the Gabba. Who knows?
Oh, and
Why do they call it the Gabba? I love that name, the Gabba. And I'm not sure why it's called the Gabba, but I would like to know. And also, it looks like something very nice is they don't have to say a corporate sponsor in front of the name, like in the U.S. everything is every stadium name is just about as some company brought the name rights. So, for example, if it happened here, the announcers would have to say, welcome back to the Home Depot Gabba. But it's much cooler to just get to say the Gabba and not have to say a company in front of it.
strong suggestion guidance, the fourth innings.
That's classy. And a statement from Will Jacks.
Good shot.
Up to 200 now, England.
Yeah, he just got the length.
So these two guys, Jacks and Stokes, they're doing well. They're doing well, but they already lost 6 wickets. They were like 6 outs already. So these guys better do really, really well.
From there. I think he's found a partner in crime too.
That start is big. Tall.
He was also concerned about the uneven bounce as well, so he's been rooted to the...
Steve Smith.
Incredible.
That's a nice pickup there.
Freakish.
Wow.
Great catch.
Put umpire to director.
Solid. Oh, that looks good. Carey was convinced behind the stumps. Was there any bat involved is the question. Time ticking down. He's gone for
that. I was thinking about that catch Steve Smith made. In this game, there's just like baseball, there's some downtime between deliveries, and if you're a fielder, you got to be able to just relax at those times, and then as soon as the ball's on its way, you got to just focus so quick and get so prepared. I mean, just like a tennis player returning a serve. You'd be relaxed until the ball goes up, and then you lock in. Because like that reaction from Steve Smith was so quick, it would not have been able to be done if he were like sort of just casual looking at it come his way.
Well, that is the 50th time that he's passed that mark in Test matches. He's had a lot of memorable moments, but this will...
I read that Bazball is sort of, the name comes from their captain, whose nickname is Baz. But from what I remember, I think Ben Stokes is also possibly sort of part of it, really committed to it. I'm not sure if he's the captain, but I think he's also, I guess the whole team has probably bought into the concept of Bazball, but I got the feeling Ben Stokes and the captain were really the ones maybe taking the heat for it not working especially well at this point.
Straight off, he knew it. Great catch there, Alex Carey.
Well, the brilliance of the wicketkeeper to come up to the stump so often.
There it is, straight to him. Second catch for the skipper.
Oh, man.
That's an easy one.
It's another Steve Smith. God, he positioned perfectly there. I did a video recently of Kevin Peterson and Steve Smith at Yankee Stadium hitting balls with a baseball bat. And Steve Smith was really impressive. I'll try to put that up at the end of the video if you want to take a look. If not, you can go to my channel and find it. But Steve Smith was he's got some serious talent when it comes to hitting balls with bats. That's for sure.
One to get.
We were just talking about it off air just before, Vorney. Talking about potentially coming back tomorrow. Just took that.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fielders on the boundary.
You don't want to chase too much. You get one wicket here in
now they're
Australia.
playing deep.
Yes. It'd be pretty hard to get the ball out of his hand, I reckon. He wants to go right to the end, pick up 5 wickets.
Look at him.
Another full swing from Jofra Archer. He's got it past.
Oh, that's interesting. It looked like there was one fielder playing up, and if I saw that correctly, it looked like when Archer took a big swing at it, the guy fielder playing up sort of went down to protect himself, which is understandable because when a guy takes a big swing and you're like very close, you're not going to most likely make the catch, and you just want to protect yourself. That's what it looked like. I'm interested in knowing if that's the case.
Weatheralls, 4 more to the tally. Every one of them precious at this stage.
That catch is taken.
Wow.
Yet again, it's Steve Smith.
So that's
Once more, it's
no
Nisa.
way.
And it's 5 at home. 5 for Michael Nisa. Brought into the side. Takes his maiden.
So Steve Smith made the last 3 catches, and I think he's the captain, which means if he is the captain, he's positioning himself. I mean, he's positioning the fielders, I believe. So he certainly made good choices about where to position himself those last 3, and looks like a guy named Carey did the other 4 catches. So that, I don't know if that's unusual or not, to have only 2 guys make all those catches.
5 for in Test cricket. And what an influence he's had. England are all out for 241. And Australia to win the second Test and go 2 up in this Ashes series will require.
Soil, it means so much more. Family are there, the memories of years of toiling away, and he said he knows it gets flat, so he knew he had to put in a shift.
Travis Head,
but he did
had a good one in the first
perfection, really.
Test.
And I think another thing, you know, there would have been some talk if Australia didn't do well of him coming in over Nathan Lyon. He proved that maybe it was a selection that was worth going for that extra seamer, and he did fabulously.
Yeah, he's had his time in the sun, and he thoroughly deserved.
Well, it's definitely a better start than the previous innings. Archer, who actually bowled pretty well early on.
And they could do without the helping hand.
I just mentioned.
Oh, that's a cool picture. That's a cool shot. Do they play Australian rules football in the Gabba as well? Is that, you know, AFL and cricket? I'm guessing, yeah. But, okay, so Australia's up, and it looks like it's the evening because its lights are on. That's why they got the pink ball. And the target is 65 to win, which seems like a very makeable number. Certainly.
A moment ago, didn't I? You got to want to set the tone. Sets up technically for the cut and pulls.
It's 6 off the first over. That's straying, and that's dispatched. Probably as a deserved there from Weatherall. Which will prevent the boundary.
Yeah, very clear game plan.
Yep. Head, as he always does, finding the spaces. Yep. But there's space through the covers. Right off the middle of the bat, and it's run away for 4. Brilliantly played from Head. Oh, close, close, close. They know that, but they know it's going to run away as well. 150 k's an hour from Archer there. It was the pace that beat him, 93. And that's an absolute beauty.
God, that last shot had Archer, the bowler, you know, his follow through. God, they get so far down that that pitch after they bowl. I mean, especially a guy like him, who I think is a fast bowler and carries a lot of momentum into it. It's an interesting thing. I mean, I always look at it compared to baseball, where the pitcher stays on the mound, because there's no run up with momentum.
That's away. That's high in the air, and that's going all the way. 6 big ones to Travis Head.
Travis Head, I know he was one of the stars of the first match. You know, right now they need 65 to win. Australia does. Australia requires 46 more runs. 46 more runs, and they haven't gotten out yet. So if, you know, is this something that most people would consider, you know, done deal, over? I mean, it's like, if England were to hold Australia off and win this game and get 10 wickets before Australia gets 46 runs, that seems like it would be the greatest defensive showing in the history of cricket. Now, I totally don't know if that's true or not, but it seems, especially, you know, Australia is such a good team that when they're in this position, 46 runs needed, 0 wickets lost, it's, I'll just put it this way, they seem like they're in pretty good shape.
Once. Oh, this time it's got square. He's seeing it beautifully.
Well, because it's pink, of course he's seeing it.
The Aussie crowd absolutely loving that.
No, I do feel for Ben Stokes. It's some of my darkest times.
Fuller this time from Archer.
And if you're going to be...
It's in the air there. They will take a single. Obviously nobody in catching on the leg side. Archer frustrated despite the high pace and aggression. Australia have had 5 overs of their reply. It's dinner time, 32 without loss. The Gabotoir is close to claim.
He's not worried about circumstance. He says, I'm very bad at red inks. So he's not looking to get a little 30 not out here. He's just going to hit boundaries till he gets out. And if he's there...
You know, if I'm not mistaken, the breaks, you know, I've heard them say break for tea or lunch or dinner. And are those the official ways they take those breaks? Because, you know, other sports, you know, they go with halftime and quarters. You know, first quarter is over, second quarter. It just seems so traditional, like cricket culture and tradition, to keep the terminology of tea or lunch break or dinner break. It's just in keeping with how I view the game as a really traditional game.
To be done by the man out at deep square.
Well, Atkinson's got 1 for 221 in the series. He's bowled better than that.
Bowled in, Head plays on, Atkinson breaks through. And some late joy for England.
He needed that, Gussie. He did. That's 2 for 221 on the tour.
1 wicket.
Gets him. So Atkinson takes 2, knocks over Labuschagne. Similar delivery in England, getting some late joy and landing a few blows.
Well, it's taken off 2.
Oh, Steve Smith. He's in a bit of a hurry.
Now Steve Smith comes in, and I know he's a good batter because I saw him hit baseballs.
The length he was after and just tugged it away through mid.
And I also have heard he's a really good athlete, just about everything he tries to do. So probably not the guy you want to be facing if you're England at this point.
It's a good shot.
5,500 Ashes runs. About some of the names on there. Gee, there's a third man in play, but I guess Smith figures if he gets a touch on it, there's a bit of a chat. Told him to bowl fast.
Archer's wearing the watch. I don't know how guys wear watches in sports. Rafael Nadal used to wear this big watch. Anyway, let's see what's going on here. This looks like a problem.
To Steve Smith, and he did, and he sent him to the rope. Nice.
Oh, it looked like they were talking to each other.
Eye to eye.
Oh, they
Archer
are.
and Smith. It is. He takes it on. Stephen Smith clears the lot. What an answer by Smith. Looks at Archer and sends him over the rope.
Archer can't look at him.
Oh, so it looks like there was some sort of conversation going on. I don't know what it was about between Archer and Smith, and then there, I think, from what I gather, the next ball he hit over for a 6, which is a nice way to make an argument.
Beautifully
58.
down the ground. Runs ticking off quickly now.
62. They're in good shape, I believe.
Booed by the crowd. Smith takes it on.
Wow.
The winner with a 6. Smashes it away. Umpire raises his hands. He's pumped the captain. Clears the rope to win the test match. Australia, they go ahead 2-0 in one of the most hyped series.
Well, I believe Steve Smith is a captain. Even if he's not, he certainly led the team in that situation, got the last 3 catches, and then comes in and gets the necessary amount of runs pretty quickly. So, I don't know. Far be it from me to criticize Bazball. I only know what I've read, the little I've read. And like I said, I can't really recognize it or not. I mean, I guess if they were swinging, just taking big swings every time, I think, oh, that's aggressive. But I'm sure it's not. I'm sure Bazball is not that extreme. They still, they have to play smart. But I'm wondering in the next match, the third match, if they're going to make adjustments or not. It might be too late to make adjustments. You can't just change your whole outlook, overnight, especially if you've kind of built a team around guys who play that way, which might be the case. I don't know. But they're 2 down. England's 2 down. Australia is 2 up. And I recently found out that even if Australia wins the third match and sort of, essentially wins the series, they still play the 4th and 5th match, which is interesting also. Very unique to cricket, I think, to play out those matches. But Steve Smith looked like he's on top of his game, as they say. And it'll be interesting to see how it goes, because I've looked at a few like headlines and from English cricket analysts and things, and they are all pretty down on England at this point, saying it's a failed experiment and all that. I'm wondering if they can come back, or I don't have a good enough eye for cricket to know if it's been so one-sided and so dominated by Australia that it looks like they're just going to cruise through the rest. I don't know. It seems like, if it seems like any game can turn on a few quick outs, or some guy has a really good run batting. I don't know, but from the things I saw, it seems like a lot of English cricket people are saying it's kind of not very hopeful, let's say, for them to turn it around. But I don't know. we'll have to see how it goes, and we will see how it goes. And that is probably 10 days, 8 to 10 days from now. So that's all I got. That's all I got from here. If you like the video, please subscribe. That helps me out, and I'm sure I asked a lot of questions, because I always do, and I always like learning from the comments. If you can answer, that would be great. And from Los Angeles, I'm Michael. I'll see you next time.